Bro, do you remember when the other day we talked about this Norwegian football club photo shoot where all the football players actually dressed up like Vikings? I thought it was absolutely amazing. I made a whole video about it. It was basically a wholesome video. I thought it was fantastic. What I did not think is that it could cause backlash. But that's the world we inhabit now, my friend. So what the heck happened? Well, apparently some people said that the photo shoot was toxic and boyish. Norway's World Cup Viking photos spark row. So let me get this straight. This caused backlash because it's too boyish? Toxic? How is this toxic? Toxic masculinity, I guess they mean. So in a world where men dress like women dress like men, and actually tell you, I'm a man, I'm a woman, and all that kind of stuff, in a world like that, the same people that tell you now that's biological reality complain if a group of Nordic men dress up like their ancestors. Oh, it's a woman that it's explaining this. Great. Irene Andrade, whatever. So, the Norwegian men's national football team is returning to the World Cup for the first time in 28 years, but their marketing campaign... But, already there is a but! Their marketing campaign, which sees the players photographed armed with shields and swords, along with captions about Viking blood, has caused uproar. Of course! Uproar! I would like to ask the people that are offended by this, would they be offended by, for instance, football club from Sudan to dress up like warriors from the Kingdom of Kush? Or the Kingdom of Meroe, if you want? Asking for a friend. Is that toxic? Currently, training in the US ahead of the 2026 tournament, the team released Viking-inspired photographs captured by renowned photographer David Yarrow. Man, he did a really good job, David. The images show the players in authentic historical attire. Well, that's for me to say, by the way. And some of the shields were pretty good, some of the shields were shit. A couple of the outfits were like, but I appreciate the thought. I appreciate, this is the one time I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to dress up as whatever it's the thought that counts. Because in fact, it's the very thought of being proud of your, white ancestry and history that they're attacking. So I don't even care. Dress up as whatever you like. Put all this is the first time in history I'm going to say it and deny it 15 seconds afterwards. But guys, wear the leather wristbands. Do it. I love it. You have my blessing. The images show the players in authentic, historically accurate beside a fjord. I love the location, actually, with longboats in the background. Yeah, the same Viking ships that were used by Nolan in his Odyssey. Same one. While intended to honor the country's heritage and historical narrative, how dare you? I wonder how they can combine the idea of honoring Viking or, Norse history. If that's bad, because it's toxic, how dare you? You should be ashamed of your past, right? Thing is, though, that the same people that tell you this, that are offended by this, these are the same people that tell us, were the Swedish Vikings predominantly Muslims? Question. Vikings were not all white pupils, to be told. University of Liverpool Vikings were never the purebred master race white European colonists. Vikings not just white, schools teach Muslim presence. So, logically speaking, if the same people that tell us you should be ashamed of being a Viking heritage, the same people say this are on the other hand telling us that, they were not white, the Vikings, and they were Muslim. I've already debunked it. 2 videos, not 1, 2. You can count on me. Link in the description. How can you claim that it's a toxic history? Are you saying that being a Muslim non-white is toxic? Because that's what you're telling us the real Viking/Norse history is. So which one is it? Which one is it? And to show that the team is more prepared and fierce than ever, the campaign has deeply divided public opinion in Norway, even as it generates positive reaction and acclaim globally. Well, of course, and you know why? It's simple, because Norway, unfortunately, the reason why this created divide is because in Norway there is a YouTuber called Freda who 100% would have found this one offensive because right-wing toxic masculinity, frustrated right-wing men, am I right? But the rest of the world does not have a Freda. So the rest of the world thinks, oh, this is so good. I can already imagine the kind of people that are offended in Norway. The self-loathing type that have been manipulated mentally to hate their own kind and history. That's what it is. These are the people. Disneyfied and exclusionary. What? According to critics, define critics, the brutal and terrifying marketing strategy goes too far. How is this too far? What given? This guy looks badass, so I'll give him that. This guy does look badass. Too far for what? It's not like they are showing that they are smashing or introducing the medieval monks of Lindisfarne to the business end of an axe while they're stealing their silver. Although then again, that being Christians, you probably would have loved it if that were the case. No, but it's not like they're showing, I don't know then, that they're attacking minorities. Also because why would they? If they were all Muslims and non-white. Because they are holding a shield and oh my god. Among them is columnist John Stegen, I don't know how to read it, guys, who argued to Aftenposten that the campaign creates a, open quotes, toxic Gutanstämning, boyish atmosphere. Yet, if these were transgender men, there wouldn't be no problem, right? I know that for a fact. Problem is that they are male. They are male and they like shields, Norse weapons, and they love dressing up in historically semi-accurate gear, and they're proud of their ancestry, and that is toxic. I'm so glad that people like this hate me, by the way. These are the people that pester, that fill the entirety of Reddit with complaints about me, and I'm proud of every page. I'm proud of every line of text that says how much of a bigot I am. Yes, I'm a bigot, and I'm proud of it. That feels out of step for a nation typically known for peace meditation. What? Open quotes, you get a kind of masculinity aesthetic and a slightly toxic boyish vibe. They could have come up with something better, she stated. You gotta define that. What is that? I'm really curious what she, they, them thinks. Something better. A better photo shoot. What would that look like? I'm very curious. I mean it. I really mean it. Because unfortunately, my mind, as much as I can try and imagine the stupidest thing ever possible, it's not even going to scratch the surface of what this person thinks would be appropriate. Marcus Sletholm, a commentator for Morgan Bladet, also blasted the aesthetic as chauvinistic and exclusionary. Exclusionary! They wouldn't... Guys, it's gonna be my attack line for the rest 10 years. You know that, right? This is historically accurate traditional clothing in Nigeria. Is this... So when I look at this, can I say, wow, this is beautiful, which is what I think? Or do I have to say, I don't know, this is excluding white people. Where are the Asians? Where are the Muslims? There is one thing I really love. That's why I went for Nigerian, by the way. If there is one thing I love about traditional Nigerian garb is the colors. I mean, look at this. This is amazing. I love it. But it's exclusionary. It's exclusion. They would never say. They would never say, because the reality is that this is all based on hatred. Hatred. This is all just hatred. This is hatred towards the West, our history, our people, white people, everything. Masculinity, so males specifically. VG commentator Hans-Peter Sjöli has strongly advocated for, open quotes, getting the Viking out of football. So you're literally telling Nordic men to be ashamed of their Norse heritage. Well, I mean, it checks out. They're twisting everything about ancient Rome. They're saying that if you like the empire, I've been told, oh, Metatron is a Rome fanboy, that's fascist. So if that's right, that's what they're doing. Speaking to NRK, Cyril explained that the motives is worn out and has already been used 100 times before. What, in football? Sorry, I've never seen it personally. Can you imagine, like, all the boys, like elementary school boys, middle school boys, and girls? I mean, there are girls that are interested in this, but let's focus on, yeah, it's obviously tends to be more boy-oriented if you have, like, shields, spears, swords, and axes, clearly. But imagine like all the boys and school boys that saw this football picture and got excited from Norway, who got excited and are like, wow, that's our history. That's so cool. Then maybe they get into history because of it, but they don't care. They don't want you to know the history. They want you to delete it. They want to delete everything that has to do with our past. Open quotes, it's getting a little too loud and Disney-like for us Norwegians. Traitor of your own people, he said. Open quotes, I think the image of football should be down to earth like Norwegians are. Well, you're not a great example of down to earth, though, are you? So probably the rest of the Norwegians are, except from you, a bit cautious, decent people who put on their finery when about to experience big things. So you're telling me that if you like your own history, you're indecent. If you do historical reenactors? All indecent people, disgusting, toxic. How dare you? Meanwhile, this researcher from before Jane, expressed her concerns to Klassenkampen about the campaign's hyper-masculine undertones, of course, because it's awful to be a male, right? How dare you? Males should not be masculine. Males should be feminine, I guess, at this point, because, I mean, what else? She warned that pairing ancient Norse elements with a hyper-masculine idealization of the national team is, here it is, unfortunate and typical of neo-Nazi and fascist symbolic language. I'm gonna need something strong tonight. I need to make some proper pasta. I'm gonna drink some Nero d'Avola wine from Sicily, because this is I hate these people. I loathe them. I freaking hate you. You typing this, call me a fascist as well, because I hate you anyways. I hate the way you think. I hate the way you speak. I probably hate your accent as well. I hate everything about you. We're not the same. We're not on the same side. There is no possibility for discourse with people like this. There was a guy who was okay talking to scum like this. It was Charlie Kirk. You offed him. He was the best and nicest we had. Now you're stuck with us. I'm not okay with talking with people who think this. Absolutely not. You're all scum. Vermin. The defense. On the other side of the pitch, Mirmir Kristason, a member of the parliament for the Red Party, is among those defending the national team. Let me guess, is this a neo-Nazi now? The far right is defending it, because the far right want to be Vikings. A member of parliament, yes, is among those defending him. He launched a viral defense on Facebook, calling the backlash absurd. It is absurd. He's right. I don't even know about his politics. I don't know what he thinks. I don't know, but he's right anyways. It is a World Cup in football where cultures from all over the world will meet. Norway must bring its own culture with it for the diversity to work. Yeah, exactly. You see, the problem is that diversity is a dirty word. It's an insult. It's a slur. It's a racist slur against whites. You got honesty here, truth, facts on this channel. Diversity, inclusivity, representation, DEI. These are all racist slurs. Not even a single one of these has any positive connotations in this day and age. It's all an excuse to hate on white people, our history, our culture. That's how it is. That's how it is. Split second, I hear someone say, diversity is important. Immediately red flag. Immediately. I think, is that one of these people that think actually like the Nazis and hate us? Then I listen, I speak, maybe, and I'm like, oh no, it's not. Good. It was just a red flag, but no, this person is fine. They actually meant it. But it's red flag. And you can't gaslight us anymore. He said he is, open quote, sick and tired of critics linking Norse heritage to right-wing extremism. Exactly. So even if there are some neo-Nazis that identify into the Vikings, who the hell cares? The rest of the population who are not neo-Nazi have every right to be proud of their history. Not to mention that these are the same people that will go into, so stunning and brave. If someone is proud of their African ancestry, if someone is proud of their Mongolian ancestry, even though, Genghis Khan butchered an incalculable amount of people, but it's not like they care. It's just with white, only with white. If you're Italian, you like Rome. Oh, you're German, you like the medieval Gothic armor. No. You're English, how dare you? Anglo-Saxons, they didn't even exist now, they say, in England, while they're turning into the police state that is known as the United Caliphate. That's where we are. He pointed out that when Mexico uses Aztec patterns of its jerseys, it is widely praised. Of course, because noble savage, ladies and gentlemen. So it is only fair for Norway to use runes on theirs. I agree, 100%. It is worth noting the equality of treatment. Equality is not a bad word. They don't want equality, they want equity. Equity is another slur that is against everything that is based and true. It is worth noting that the match jerseys the team will wear during the tournament also feature distinct elements of Viking culture, and they should, as they should. In fact, double down on the loudness. Please, I need to say this. Don't bend the knee. Don't apologize. If you do, you lose all of my respect. Right now, I respect the team of Norway. I think you are awesome. But if you bend the knee, we apologize for having done this without considering how it could be offensive, and we want to sincerely. And if you do this, you turn from based to scum, to weaklings. So right now you have my respect. Do not bend the knee to the masses. Never apologize. We have to take that back from them. I think the national team is leading by a very good example. Exactly. The Nazis don't own Thor, Odin, runic writing, or Valhalla. He's right. Museum experts and archaeologists backed this perspective, noting that the national team is successfully helping to reclaim historical culture. Absolutely. You know, I don't think I can keep reading. It was a tiny little bit more, but I'm gonna need to go and have a drink, relax, maybe something, because this kind of stuff, it just makes my blood boil. Also due to the fact that you have like regular blood. Me, it's, as I've said many times, diluted pizza sauce, which has a boiling point that is completely different to yours. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go have a pizza, a little pasta, ragu, bolognese, grazie. I'm here though. Don't bend the knee. Do not apologize.